Okay, this one is going to be really fun. So, how does an empowered woman see no contact, serial daters, avoidant attachment, friend zoning, or discard? Well, first I'm smiling because empowerment means that you have your inner child whole, which I do. My 0 1 year old, my 3 to 7. So I don't bring karma or my unfinished business. I don't have unfinished business. In fact, my 3 year old tone only comes up when I was 3. It was with my mother and my twin. So they get to hear the tone. And I was lovingly accepted, still am. I don't work for love at all, not even a little bit. And I don't have any of my emotions suppressed, those basic ones, and then all of them. So I get to actually be consistently passionate. In fact, that passion within me has never died. Also, Jesus, thank you so much, and God, although I call God Akash consciousness, the infinite sphere of the cosmos, dark matter, dark energy. And as a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, I get to share with those who do move into 5D mystic plane something more, but not today, not this one. We already had the episode for my 5D mystics. Let's read though, because the frequency of passion is very beautiful and you feel it when you are in a securely attached human being body with a differentiated human being self. And I'm going to have to use the human stuff because a lot of people, they're not thoroughly educated on attachment or trauma. I am. And I'm very thorough. So when I say you can be yourself, I know what I'm talking about, and now I know how to explain it. Before I had Jesus to share with me how to forgive people, for they do not know, how to turn the other cheek, and God to tell me, hey, I made you just the way that you're going to be made. If you have any envy, jealousy, spite, no, no, no. And in fact, I was like, you know what? Those are insecure emotions. I learned as a child, I was 10, how I would never, ever, ever be jealous again. And I also learned how to work with that anger stuff. Thanks, Mom. And how to know that when I feel that I have to tolerate something, that's just my 3 year old with my teenager. I don't need to tolerate. It's your nervous system, your life, not mine. Really, I get to use my words. So if I don't want to be around you, I can say, hey, you know what? I'm out. Bye. So when you're a securely attached person, you don't do no contact. Serial daters are not an issue. Also, I'm solo polyamory, so relationship anarchy and non-hierarchical, because, putting a price on you, that's pretty shitty. You're priceless. I'm priceless. Do you know that there's not a second one of you? But remember, those who are avoidant attachment or dismissive or fearful avoidant categories, there's a difference. Some people don't know it. So it's more than just an attachment wound. Okay, because the disorganized attachment category, what we have is a fearful avoidant who has a self that is fragmented. It's not just a wound. It's not just flipping back and forth between anxiety and not, which is what I saw this one dude who's not the expert at hand, but there's a lot of different ways people limit how much they learn about being human. So I don't limit. I'm an infinite higher human consciousness potential person. That's why you get to hear about that experience. So I consistently update, and thank goodness for Daniel Siegel with interpersonal neurobiology, the attachment of a lifespan, disorganized attachment and dissociative identity disorder, those courses, and ICABM with my trauma basic and then in-depth courses where I also got to learn about dissociation and how it gets misdiagnosed because there are therapists who don't believe in it. Oh, and then I get to meet therapists who actually push all of the somatic stuff to the side after they just got their degree and they don't continue to educate. So there's a lot of people who have half education. So this person, they're trending. In fact, I forget which very important newspapers, but that's because when you have teenagers out there, they are interested in, how do I make an avoidant attachment miss me? How do I use no contact to have my ex reach out? Those are not empowered women or men or theys, but I will stick to the woman thing. That way I can, stay focused. So here's what an empowered woman knows as you begin to be a teenager after seeing all of the low self-esteem, indirect communicators, passive aggressive, which, to me, it's normal. I was also low self-esteem. I just learned to start working with myself because why wouldn't I? I'm not going to pretend to be confident. I'm going to embody confidence, which is where secure attachment has the gift of unflappability. And equanimity is a choice. Thank you, Jesus, that I got to have because of being told, 1, forgive them for they do not know. 2, you are to be humble, and I was not feared about it. It made sense. I respect you for who you are. You respect me. I give you space. You give me space. So no contact, friend zoning. Oh, you better bet it's not a big deal. Discard. I use that word, but really an empowered woman, I don't feel discarded. I will know, well, this is who I am. They don't like it. It's okay. Somebody will like who I am exactly the way I am. And that day is where passion, because, healthy self-worth men, they're the only ones who know how to actually talk to your face and not hide their feelings. And then they also know how not to talk behind your back, but to talk in your face about everything. What I love is I'm not afraid to talk. So let's read this for a minute. That way I can share some stories. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to calm of its core, the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Okay, so you can only feel passion if you are a conscious lover who is also part of the universal love. And that's because you can delight in yourself. And I'm not talking about another person. No, I'm talking about me, the 1-year-old with 3-year-old. I delight in myself all the time. The alchemy synergy, you can better bet I'm always on. And I can't ever forget when somebody's like, you can't always be on. And I'm like, what do you mean? Yes, you can. It's my prefrontal cortex. Emotions last 90 seconds. I can totally be on because I'm not going to be ruminating about somebody who went no contact. No, what's going to happen is I'm going to get in my 3-year-old, 16-year-old irritated. I will be like, okay, breathe. Thank you so much. My life is a gift. I am gifted the gift where Sadhguru. This is what I learned as a kid growing up. The most precious thing is life itself. Will you realize this now or only on your deathbed? I already knew it, and God did inform me. I've given you a gift. Make use of it. And Jesus showed me the way. So empowerment is when you can be a person who knows how to always be yourself. And thanks to my inner child never dying or being defective, I have no shame. You can ask my entire family just how stubborn I am and how unwavering I am. And this is the most amazing of things for me, is that I can just say I have healthy self-worth, and I thank you, Mother, because, but I thank Maria too, because my embodied brain, my nervous system is what interacted and still interacts. And then my prefrontal cortex, so that whole thing about free will, that I want to talk about, because God told me about free will. And then again, we have the science people who are sharing with us, maybe there's no free will because, a person who has attachment wounds. So determine the science of life without free will. Okay, when you understand what an attachment wound and non-secure attachment is, the emotions of a person are what inform them. So they're going to be reactive. But a person's lack of desire to look at their herd member. Okay, so the minute that you are reactive to me, you have following the possibility to use your left mode. So if you notice and you're an actual pacha with yourself, did I get afraid? Did I get reactive? Am I withdrawing? Okay, so at a certain point, by the time you're at least 30-ish, I'm going to say you've had enough time to figure things out. I want to give people that are, so one, your brain, there's a developmental process, but what I'm trying to get to is, in the big scheme of things, I'm 44. I can say that as a teenager, all of those situations, I loved learning everything I did because I continued to expand and love more. I didn't grow less passionate. No, I'm a solo polyamory person. I grew more loving. In fact, the one thing about a healthy self-worth person is I'm not comparing myself. I have compersion. Nobody can be me. So you can go out and do whatever you want. I'm going to notice that what you're doing is not something you're contemplating. So the free will, though, is the minute that you choose to use your mouth, however it is with me, whether it's with silence, whether it's with words, you're going to have the opportunity to show me exactly how you plan on interacting with me. And since I don't need to lecture you, because a pacha is what an empowered human being is, I'm not ashamed of myself. I'm going to keep being myself, and I'm going to thank you for the one precious thing that we gifted each other: moment, time, and love. And then I'm going to be very happy that you friend zone me, because that way I don't have to pretend, or deal with any conversations that really you don't want to anyways. So the reality is it all works out in the end, because love, it always wins. That's exactly what happens when you're a conscious lover, because you don't look to attach. My 0-1-year-old wasn't ever trying to attach to you. I like you for who you are. It's called I love freely because of having a sense of security and safety. So when you are that, you just love, and you learn to love more people, not less people. So I enjoy humanity. Tune in for more.